Bonjour, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Between Two Brokers. I just got back from France, not really like 2 weeks ago, but I'm still pretending that I'm there because it was way better than here. Sorry, just is. So Erin and I are going to do a little catchy-uppy because we haven't talked to each other. I know everybody thinks that we're best friends and we talk to each other 20 times a day, but it's more like once every, couple weeks?
Yeah.
Anyway, so what's going on with you? You just got back from the mountains.
I did. We went up for the Bear Shadow Festival, which is a big 2-day outdoor music festival right outside of Highlands. And I do not go because I have spatial and audio issues. And so we had our friends Greg and Sarah come with us, and I played DD, dropped everybody off at 1:30 when it started. I took my dog hiking, had dinner by myself, and then I would go pick them up. And they had a great time, and I had a great time. Mm-hmm. It was beautiful, like 45 degrees in the morning and 75 degrees in the afternoon, and just perfect, gorgeous weather, and a great time of year to be up there. And I just love my house so dang much.
Yeah. How is it?
I do. It's great because we're finally like done working on projects. Mm-hmm. I feel like every time we've been up there, it's been like a mad dash to, get up early and start working on stuff, and you're still, stepping over tools and everything. And, it's finally done. I mean, I always am like adjusting stuff, I'm like that, we hung that picture too low. Can you please raise it 2.5 inches and shit like that. But, that's just because I'm an anal biatch, and, those kind of things will never end.
Yeah.
But by and large, the house is done. It's renting regularly. Unfortunately for you, I'll be here a lot more this summer than I was last because it is rented a bunch. But we did block off a weekend for you and me and Cynthia to get away in July and go up there and have a little, meeting of the minds about Smith Spencer and what the hell we're doing.
No, we're just going to get drunk. Come on. There will be no business discussions. No, I can't wait to see it. I still haven't seen it.
Yeah.
So that's great.
That was fabulous.
Yeah.
Yeah. How was your trip?
My trip was great. I went to Paris, and I went to outside of Nice to Saint Jean Cap Ferrat, which was a place that Heather Gilbert had recommended to me, and another past client told me about. And it's this incredible hotel where all of these famous artists and celebrities have been before, and now it's a Four Seasons hotel. But it's on this peninsula outside of Nice, and you're just overlooking the Mediterranean, and it's so over the top. I mean, just everything is beautiful. Mm-hmm. Everything is beautiful there. The architecture is beautiful. The people are beautiful. The flowers were in bloom. I mean, I'm just still in a great mood and still relaxed. And I mean, I was so tightly wound the first 4 months of this year working and just being a psycho.
Yeah.
I just like woke up and was just like work. I mean, it was all I thought about 7 days a week. Yep. And so I just really needed to reset. And the French helped me do that right away. Mm-hmm. And I just ate the most amazing food and drank tons of wine, and it was great.
Awesome.
So I want to talk about what's been going on with you and your deals. One thing that's very interesting, and I still haven't been to see it, but you are like fully engaged in a flip project, basically.
Yeah, it's a new construction. Yeah, we tore a house down. My clients, excuse me.
Talk about the path there.
Okay. So this is a group of investors from LA, and they found me through a mutual friend. We've done 3 projects together in the Charleston area that were all flips. We did one in Park Circle, and then one on Isle Palms, and then one downtown in Hampton Park Terrace, and they were all very successful. We wanted to focus on Old Village, Old Mount Pleasant area because I just think it's such a solid bet. No matter what happens with the market, people are always going to want to be in that neighborhood. And actually, when we were at a group coffee event with the team a couple years ago, your client was selling this house. And so my clients bought it off market. We were going to renovate it. And then the market started like looking a little iffy. And I think California, things start happening out there and then they happen here. And my clients were getting very nervous about the future of real estate being so far away. And so they were like, fuck it, let's just sell the house. Like, let's just pull out. And we didn't, thankfully. And then we got a new builder. We decided to tear it down and just start from scratch. So they are doing the investing. We have a local builder, and then we had used the designer that they work with in West Hollywood on our other 3 projects. But I love him, but he's got West Hollywood taste, and this is Charleston, South Carolina. And it's, he was always like, you got to stand out. You got to stand. I'm like, people don't want their houses to stand out here. Maybe on the inside, but in the inside or the outside, it's like you've got to blend in here. It's just not that. It's not West Hollywood.
It's not look at me.
It's not look at me and showy and like, so I don't just like beyond modern. And especially in this neighborhood where I know that the person who's going to buy it is going to be a family with children because of the school district. And so, I just said, can I please, I've got to be the one to sell it when we're done with it. Can I please do the design? You can pay me instead of him. And so they said, yes, like no brainer. And so I am doing all of the finish selection. I had a big part in the floor plan and the architectural plans.
Thank God.
Yeah.
I do not know why people do spec houses or flip houses without consulting with a real estate agent.
Amen.
Because we listen to buyers all day long and know what they want.
And that's what I say. Whenever I'm challenged, they like push back. They're like, do we really need to spend, that's $9,000
yes.
over the budget on this one item? I'm like, I'm telling you, this is what buyers in this neighborhood want. No one knows better than I do. I live in this neighborhood. I show in this neighborhood all the time. And I've successfully designed 2 of my own houses, so I kind of know what I'm doing. I'm by no chance, by no means a professional interior designer. And it does keep me up at night, some of the decisions I'm making, because, the goal is to appeal to the most number of buyers. And I know how to do that, but you still don't want to, I don't want it to be milquetoast. You still want it to be a little bit special. So I am taking some chances and hopefully they pay off. But I think it's going to be a great house. It's a lot of fun.
You're so brave. I don't think I could do it.
I think you could.
No. I'm like, the thought of that terrifies me. I'm curious, a couple of questions I have. How did you make the decision, which I know is the right decision, but how did you make the decision or convince them to tear down versus work with what was there? And then how did you determine how they were going to pay you?
So it was actually the builder that, the second builder that we hired. We had a little bit of a falling out with the builder that did the first 3 projects with us. And
what happened?
I think they were just...
everybody was sick of each other?
Yeah,
stressful.
Yeah, it is. It is. It shit just happens, sometimes it just goes south. And everyone's still friendly, but it's just like, I think it was mutual that they didn't want to work together anymore.
Yeah.
Which is fine. So the new builder, your client had just put on a brand new roof, and it was a metal roof, and those last for 50 years and they're not cheap. And that honestly was the driving point as to why they were trying to save the original structure.
Yes.
They were like, well, we don't want to throw away that. I'm like, take the roof off and go put it on another project somewhere. Like, I've done that before.
Yeah.
And so this builder was like, why are we trying to save, $20,000
Yes.
and work with the footprint that we're given here? Like, this neighborhood demands larger homes. That was 1,000 square foot house.
Right.
Yes, you can build onto it, but you're stuck with so much. And, the placement of it on the lot wasn't ideal. And so it was just, it really took maybe 10 minutes of a conversation between he and I and the seller and the investors. And, but he was the driving force. We're like, I can't believe that you're pitching pennies this much to say, to not just knock it down and start over. So that was easy. And honestly, they just told me what they were going to pay the other guy to do it. And I said, yes, I'll do it for that.
Yeah.
Because I know it's going to make the sell part easier for me. If I'm doing all the picking out, you know?
Definitely.
And I can explain why we made the choices that we made and what the materials are. And
Are you doing white cabinets in the kitchen?
no,
What are you doing?
it's called French Gray. It is a oh God, I'm blanking. What's the expensive paint brand?
Oh, Farrow and Ball.
It's a Farrow and Ball, but it's cut by 50%.
Why'd you pick that?
So this neighborhood, for anyone that doesn't know, is less than a mile from Sullivan's Island. So to me, it's like a beachy feel. I don't like the houses in the neighborhood that come out like really modern and dark, like black paint and dark. It just doesn't, to me, it doesn't fit with the environment. And so I wanted to do something that wasn't white, but that was still light and airy. The house gets great light. There's a pool right off the kitchen. It needs to feel like you live next to Sullivan's Island. And green, I'm obsessed with green for the past 2 years. I did a lot of stuff in my mountain house in green. I'm buying a lot of green clothes. I don't know. Green's like my thing right now. So, yeah, I'm doing a green cabinet. I think you'll be impressed by some of the bolder choices that I've made.
I can't wait to see it.
Yeah.
Is this stuff in?
They're doing tile this week.
Oh my
starting
gosh,
tile this week.
So exciting.
And, you know, of course, I have a beautiful Google slide presentation because I have to visualize how everything is going to look together. I did this for my mountain house when we were picking out furniture. I would, you know, get the image offline. I would photo scissor out the background and lay it out on a Google slide so I could see how everything looked together in the same room. And it makes a world of difference when you're able to do that. And so I've done that for this project, and it's really driven a lot of the choices. We have a lot of great vendors in Charleston. It's really fun to pick out tile and countertops and paint colors and floors. And what I like the most is that they don't question me. I'm the only woman involved in the project. It's, you know, 4 other men, and they will address me as queen on the text thread. They're like, what does the queen think? Or what does the boss think? And I'm like, that one, you know, and they're just, then that's the answer. It's lovely. I love to be in charge.
These are smart men. For all the men listening.
And I think they're going to make a lot of money on this. And we're under contract to buy the one 2 doors down. We're going to do it again. So
I do think it would be really fun to scratch the itch of design. I do love designing things, and my taste is so boring. I think I could have a lot of fun doing a spec, you know, by spending other people's money. And I would be totally confident about my stuff. It's just the time involved.
It is. It's a lot of time.
I mean, how much time, like, per week? A lot.
It's a lot.
And I would also obsess about it. Like,
I do and I don't. You know, but I'm because it's like, what's the point of obsessing once you've already made the decision and the order's been placed, the money's been spent? I have to let it go. And by the way, I don't think you have boring taste. But I did obsess about it, you know, and I do before the trigger's been pulled. He's like, okay, I need, you know, this selection by the end of this week. And I'm like, oh my God.
When you made the decisions about the design, were you looking at past sold properties? Were you looking at what was on the market and how you could stand out? Like, how did you make the decision?
When it came to the architectural plans, I looked at past sold properties and what went under contract quickly in the neighborhood and what people are looking for. You know, was it worth it for us to put in a pool dollar for dollar? I don't know. But I think that neighborhood does not have access to a community pool.
Right.
And it's, by and large, most people are moving there with children because of the school districts. And, you know, it's like, what do kids want to do more in the summer? Nothing more than being in a pool. And it's nice for mom to just be able to freaking open the door and, you know, they're entertained for hours.
The square footage in the bedrooms and bathrooms?
So we're at 3,300 square feet. It's 4-bedroom, 4.5 bathrooms, 2-car garage. Last week I did the landscaping plan, which was so fun.
How'd you do that?
Yeah, that was...
Can you do that for my house?
That was a challenge. That was probably the hardest thing I've done. But I just went and I just, you know, Googled a bunch of native South Carolina plants and what I think is pretty. I did take inspiration from other houses in the neighborhood because I love, like, olive trees. And and camellia sasanquas. You know, I tried to bring in some color because we did go with just kind of like a creamy white exterior with black windows. But yeah, I mean, I haven't built a house in 10 years, and so I have forgotten how many decisions there are to make. That part's a little overwhelming. And you know how it is. It's like when you've got so many options, it just makes it that much harder.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, like the internet is almost like your enemy.
Definitely.
When it comes to picking stuff out, because it's just like endless choices.
So when will it be done?
End of June, early July.
Nice.
Which is not ideal. I mean, we're shooting for May, but, you know, it's new construction. That's what happens. So, you know, my folks bought it for $775, and we'll be listed somewhere between 3 and 3.5, depending on what the market looks like by then.
That's awesome. Well, I
Yeah.
can't wait to see it.
Yeah. And I'm glad I have that going on, because honestly, I'm slow right now. I have stuff that is closing because of all the hard work I was doing in February and March and April, but I haven't put anything under contract other than this project 2 doors down in quite a bit. Just like you, the first 4 months of the year, I was like banging my head against a wall with just challenge after challenge after challenge. And, but you know, glad to be busy. Now those things are closing, and I don't know what my summer looks like. How about you?
I'm going to be busy. I feel
You were slammed last summer.
Yeah, I just feel it. I mean, I have a lot going on, and I'm showing a lot, and I'm working a lot, and I've got, a couple listings and a couple coming. So I'm going to be busy.
Good.
And that's fine.
Yeah.
So yeah, but I'm just still relaxed.
Are you going anywhere this summer?
I'm going to go to the Bahamas for the first time.
That's right. Harbor Island.
Harbor Island.
Why did you pick that?
I read some article in the Wall Street Journal. You know how I do.
Yeah.
They talked about some place, and I was like, looks good.
Yeah.
I know when I need to get away. So there's a cadence for me. It's like every 6 weeks. I think that's right. I have to get out of town, or I will lose my mind.
But what are the activities you're going to do? Because I know you just don't go and lay on a beach.
This is a concern of my boyfriend's.
Yeah.
You know, but this is how he negotiated with me. He said, yes, we can go, but we're going to go Thursday to Sunday. That's it.
Oh,
because you're not going to,
trip.
Yes. Then one day you can see the island.
Yeah.
The other day I'll take you fishing, and we can just chill at the pool or the beach the rest of the day.
And then you'll get bored.
And then we'll be,
Yeah.
because I will get bored so easily in a place like that. Like
Yeah.
I'm not a beach. I'm not going to lay anywhere.
Yeah.
And I read all the time here. So I'm not like catching up on books on vacation. I need a lot of stimulation and a lot of culture. And that's what I get when I travel to Europe. And so that's really my favorite place to go. And then we're going to go up to the Cape. I'm going to show John where I grew up.
Nice.
At the end of August, and we're going to go to Boston for a couple of nights, which is always a fun place to go. So those are the trips. And summer is different. Everybody's more chill.
For sure.
So it's not going to be, even if I'm busy, it's not going to be the way that it was, whatever. I will tell you, this is the most interesting thing that I've learned. Okay. I was totally overconfident in January about a lot of things. And, I had not listed homes in January, that many homes in January before. I had listed homes in January. I think they were at a lower price point. I think they sold right away. But that's a really terrible time to list a house, you know? And if your circumstances require you to list in January, it's just going to sit on the market longer. And, you know, that's what I have been reminded, is timing is a thing. And it doesn't matter how great the house is or how well you price it. Like, you know, I don't know. I was overconfident. I really loved my listings, and I thought that they were very special. And I thought that there was a window in where they were priced that they were going to fly off right away. But I'd forgotten about interest rates and just, you know, January, everybody's calling me and they get excited and they're like, this is what we're going to do this year. But they're not, most people move at this time of year.
Yeah.
They move from May to August.
Yeah. I think our summer is a lot different than summers in the rest of the country, particularly where summer is the only warm time of the year. Like, I think that's when their real estate markets thrive. And it's like, dude, we've been in the 80s since March.
Yeah. I mean,
our season starts much sooner. And I think during the summer, parents are burdened with having their kids at home, and it's not ideal time to go real estate shopping or show their homes.
And I just think agents and people are on vacation, and they're just kind of like, I don't know. It's a different, but it was funny when we were flying back, we flew through Boston and we flew over the Cape. John was like so excited. I was like, this is where, this is the bridge and my house was right here.
Is that what initiated the trip?
No, I planned everything in January. The Cape, this was 2 weeks ago, was brown.
Just from being cold?
Yes. Mm-hmm. And this is at the beginning of May. And I sent my mom pictures. I was like, Mom, it's brown. She said, that's why we moved. The flowers haven't even started blooming yet. Yeah. I mean, it's just crazy to think about. And then we came into Charleston. Everything was like green. It was so gorgeous. And anyway, I'm excited to go up to the Cape, but it's nice for a couple months out of the year. And I'm glad to be a visitor.
Yeah.
Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed listening to us rant about our lives, and check us out at Smith Spencer Real Estate, at Between Two Brokers on Instagram. Don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe, and we will see you next time.